she's feeling alive. Oh, Suze.
I love a palindrome, episode 505. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing real well. I'm coming at you, not live, but sort of live, from the makeshift studio in my new apartment. Or I should say townhouse, because that's like what it is. So I have to call it what it is. It's fancy. It's fancy. It's like not a number. Like when they're like, oh, what is your apartment number? No number, just regs, just street number. I love that. It makes me feel like a regular house.
You have a big
something.
Girl address.
Like a big girl address.
I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
I mean, this is good. Everyone that listens has been on this journey with you of this housing problem.
Thank you for coming on this roller coaster.
Yes. So now things are looking up. You're not out of the woods. You still got to get everything situated, but boy, what a relief.
Still, yes, I was just telling Susie, I am currently sitting on a pillow as a chair, and the stuff is, my studio is set up on the floor because everything is in the storage pod that's outside of my house right now, and the movers are scheduled to come tomorrow morning, but we are in that weird limbo phase where I learned, and I'll just tell you guys because like you guys know everything anyway, like. Last night, so like I get done with my session super late, and I'm like staying up in Cambria, and you know I got to come back to make it here for to make it here to direct the storage pod to tell them where they're going to go, and so Cambria's 3 hours away from where I live now, and so 3 hours away. I'm thinking my sessions are done at 9. Do I go at night or do I go in the morning? They're going to get there at like 7 a.m. So we're talking a 4 a.m. leave?
No, I would not have done that.
You don't do that. So, and then I'm making like all these last minute decisions because I'm like, what do I do? So, you know, a part of me was like, should I just stop off on the drive home and maybe I should buy an air mattress? And then I'm like, Sarah, you shouldn't do that. You own 2 air mattresses. They're yours. In the storage container that's right there. I'm like, you can't do that. That seems like a waste. And then what are you going to do afterwards? Like how many, like what, it's just, you know what you can do? You can do what you did when you moved into your new apartment, 15 years ago. You could just like get some blankets from the Cambria house and some pillows, which I did.
This is not good.
Then you can like just make a pile of clothes on the floor or something and sleep on that.
Sarah.
Oh, buddy, was that a bad idea?
I just cannot even believe that you thought
so dumb.
That was tolerable.
Susie, at 2:35 in the morning, I laughed out loud. I laughed out loud. You know what I did? I didn't just laugh out loud. I got up and I got the bottle of wine that I had because I'm like, I can't even. This is like silly.
Yeah,
like
right.
And then I looked around and I was like, you don't have a cup.
A cup.
A cup. And I did not drink the wine out of the bottle, which is what most people would have done. But I just like. I was just like, ugh, I give up. Whatever. It's not even worth it. And so I just like went back to bed and or tried to sleep. And I finally got to bed at probably like 3 a.m. and then they called me at like 6 to get this whole pod thing all situated and moved in and everything. So I will definitely not be doing that tonight and am leaving immediately after recording this.
Yeah.
To go get a hotel room.
You need temporary
and I am
housing.
treating myself to a nice hotel room, I decided, that has a spa, and I will be getting a massage now because in my dumbass attempt to try to save money, I have now cost myself more because now I have to pay for the massage to fix the back problem I have from sleeping.
Oh, Lord. I would suggest the Theragun, but I believe that's probably in your pod. Fuck.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Oh, no.
This, you know what? This is the storm before the calm. That's all. That's all it is.
Then I'll get to really, they say rough seas or smooth seas never made a skilled sailor. So I'll be like ready for freaking
But don't you always
season.
Feel like, you know what? I am tired of learning goddamn lessons.
The most tired. Yeah. The most tired. And I will say, you guys, all of you listeners, shout out to all of you. Because you guys were all of them, every single one. You guys were so, well, at least the ones who like reached out and said nice things. And the ones who thought it. If you thought it in your head, you're shout out to you.
Yeah, you're included.
You guys were so sweet after episode 501 and were so kind. And so many of you shared that you are going through similar things, or that, like, you know, the things that I said in that episode, like, helped of, like, yeah, I'm sick of the lessons. We're done with that. Like, I can't tell you how many other people wrote me and were like, same. Just stop with we just, like, want to. So maybe we should all just change our expectations to just, like, be smacked in the face with life lessons on the rigs.
Yeah. I mean, I know you're not alone. I've been hearing it from so many people. They're in the same boat. It fucking sucks. And things are going to get better.
Yeah.
They are.
No problem.
They are. So
like, I mean, at least my sleeping arrangement this evening will get better.
Exactly. And so please stop doing that thing where you're like, you know what? This is enough. This is fine. I'll just sleep on a pile of laundry.
Yeah. What was I thinking? Like, no, because I did that. I can remember doing that.
Yeah, but
when I moved in, and there was like a little bit of excitement to it. And like I said this, I remember like telling the story of like that night, like, you know, almost like romantically, like, and that was after a breakup, you know, Landon had just broken up with me, and I was like, I had gotten a new apartment, and then, well, what happened? I got, you know what? I said we lived together, and I was like, this isn't working for me. I'm going to need my own space again.
Breakup.
But we didn't break up, but we weren't broken up. We were like, and then in the process of moving out, and I was all excited about moving into my new place, he was like, I don't like this. And then he broke up with me, and then I was crushed after that. Because I was like, what? Which is, I shouldn't have been, because Sarah, you were like halfway out the door anyway, literally. And so, you know, I can like romanticize that night. And I remember I was like heartbroken, and I went to a coffee shop and I downloaded the movie Dirty Dancing on my computer because I had never seen it before. And so the first time I'm like bawling, no, he puts baby in the corner.
Oh my
like,
God.
You know, and like and there are like candles, because at that time I didn't have electricity turned on. This time at least I was smart, and I got all my utilities
Sarah,
set up.
that was like 10 years ago, and you're not. That's
more.
A totally different moment in one's like tolerance and
different
body.
What was I thinking? You're so right.
But, well, you know
over
what it was?
35.
This
forget
is
it.
Your chronic problem. Remember when we were optimistic? You
oh my God!
Believe it's going to be just great.
Speaking of which, I heard this hilarious thing. So there happens to be, which is kind of funny and crazy, a blind dart team, like team that plays darts, like professionally.
And they're visually impaired?
And they're visually impaired.
Okay.
And you know what their team name is?
What?
The Optimists.
That's funny.
It is funny.
Yes.
I heard that on Wait, Don't Tell Me. I thought that was real clever.
I like that.
Yeah, so when you were saying that, I was like, hey, that reminds me of my favorite dart team.
You need a little bit of cynicism.
Yeah, for sure.
You need a little bit of Susie.
I'm just going to go. I need that. I just have WWSD. What would Susie do?
Well, because for real, like, you need internet.
Doesn't work because it's Sarah.
You need a bed. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
It's like I have these things. They are just
right,
like
yes.
They're in this pod. And then I decided I'm not moving any of that. Like, somebody is moving. I am hiring people to move this. Like, I am not. Nope. Oh God, I can remember when I got divorced, and I was like, I got to get out of this house. When, you know, anybody who's like cohabitated with anybody that they're no longer in a relationship with, oh,
I can't even imagine.
That is the worst.
Yeah.
The time that you have to live together until you can go your separate ways. I just like don't wish that on anyone.
That's not natural.
And I just remember being like, I need my own place right now. And once I had the keys to that new apartment, I wanted to get out of there as fast as I could. So I had movers to move everything else, but I took my mattress, and it's the Tempur-Pedic one.
Yeah.
And so you can like fold it in half.
Yeah.
It is a king California king size mattress by myself. I had so much rage and like willpower to not be in that space anymore. I moved that entire California king size mattress down 2 flights of stairs and folded it like a burrito and shoved it into the trunk of my Jeep. I kid you not.
Where is it now, though?
Now it's folded in half in the pod.
Oh, I see. Oh, man.
This was when I got divorced. This was before.
I'm getting mixed up.
Yeah, put it on the list
these trials
of the breakups.
And tribulations.
My
golly.
word. It's just never pretty. There's no breakup that is.
No, that's true.
At least not for me.
No, I always tell Sarah about when I ended up in my mom's basement after I got divorced. And you really do have those moments where you're like questioning your entire life.
Yeah. Everything. You're like, oh my God.
What have I done?
What have I?
But
I'll just put. Yeah, I'll put that. Send that to the Brain Candy Instagram feed of the makeshift bed. That you could even see Bo's expression in the photo. She's like, "What are we? What is this?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? You've made mistakes, mother."
Yeah, she had regrets for you.
She did. Oh God, that's so funny.
All right. Well,
but how are you?
I'm fine, but in this time of like recovery that you're in and sort of like getting yourself together, I have the perfect like self-care, skincare situation for you.
Oh,
I hope you received it in the mail.
Even just the sound of that.
You've been away, so I don't know if you got it, but I sent you products from OC, which are these incredible like skin. It's like skin magic.
I love everything you're saying, and I'm feeling like goosebumpy tinglies like already thinking about how good this is going to feel.
Well, I
this.
never cared about this stuff until I got older, and then it became more important and necessary and noticeable. And now I'm like a skincare junkie, and there is this OC algae body oil that you have to include in your routine. You won't even have to go to the spa at the hotel.
That's nice.
It's so nice. It's luxurious and rich. It's not greasy or sticky or weird. It just makes you feel like heaven. It's like you had a spa experience. And I love that it's vegan and cruelty-free and it's responsibly sourced. So it's like all these fancy things, but it's affordable and you guys will love it. You have to try it. It moisturizes and replenishes your dry skin. And they have tons of products. You should check out the whole line. You can try OC risk-free for 30 days and get free shipping on orders over $50. They even send free samples with every order. And you get 10% off your first order with our promo code BRAINCANDY at ocmalibu.com. That's 10% off with code BRAINCANDY at OCMalibu. That's OCEA, like the sea, Malibu, MALIBU.com. You will love this stuff.
Ooh.
It's awesome.
Wait, yeah. And anything from the sea, I'm all into that.
Yes.
Like, give me like the
Somebody wrote to us and said one of their favorite memories of the show was when I asked you if you really thought you were there were mermaids. And you admitted that you kind of do. And I had forgotten all about it, but I was like, do you think it's possible that maybe there are mermaids? And you were like, yeah. I love that story. Do you still feel that way? You want to believe.
I do. I mean, I don't think there are in like the sense that like in the way that we think of them. Mm-hmm. Like, but there's just a lot we don't know about.
That is so true, though, about the ocean.
Like, there's so much of that frickin' ocean we do not see.
Yes, I agree.
Come on.
No, I agree. It's kind of like aliens. Like, there's definitely something out there.
We know those are out there.
Yeah. So, but it is
I mean, now
funny.
that's just like fact. And like, I feel like we're just going to learn more and more and more about that. There was something else that was like released like this week about like more alien shit.
Yes. What was that?
Yeah.
Basically, they were like, there's definitely aliens.
Yes. We need to just like accept it and like, okay, now what? Like let's.
I'm just mad because,
first contact. I want that.
We're competitive people, you and I. And it just feels like the fact that they've visited us, but we haven't visited them means they won, like the space race.
Duh.
Yeah.
We're not
dum
winning
dums
much over here. Super dum-dums.
And they probably talk about us.
100%. We're like laugh a minute, guaranteed the butt of the jokes.
We're the hillbillies of the galaxy.
I was going to say that. Oh my God, I was going to say that. I was like, we're totally that.
That's embarrassing.
It's super embarrassing. like we're like look at them leaving their Christmas lights up all year long.
Right.
And like we got like cars on like
cinder blocks.
Bricks, cinder blocks out. And the grass has definitely not been watered in a million years. Like doesn't even have grass.
We're the laughing stocks of the Milky Way. Okay.
Oh God, that's so funny.
Anyway,
and
so
true.
I felt like I needed to start off. Well, we're not even starting off at this point, but whatever. This show with an article that was sent to us by Brainiac Christie, who we love. This is definitely one for the lifestyles of the weird and wacky segment.
Oh gosh, Christie never disappoints.
Never.
I can't wait. Never.
And like these stories of people that fall in love with objects, we just love it.
Objectophilia.
Okay, let me give you the scoop and then we'll discuss. The scoop is that a woman found love with a German roller coaster named the Sky Scream. And
the Sky Scream.
She said that she started being sexually attracted to objects at the age of 12. She has had 3 human relationships, but they just made her feel real bad. And that objects, they don't judge her like humans. And
True.
The Sky Scream empowers her and makes her feel good.
I just can't help but think, I scream, you scream.
we all
scream for Sky Scream.
We all...
Which I feel like is like somehow like hilariously like their motto in the bedroom.
In the bedroom. Right.
Which, like, I don't know how that would work.
Well, I'm glad you asked because she, she does feel like she wants to have sex with the roller coaster, but, like, logistically it's kind of awkward. Mm-hmm. And so she has to...
Is there a designated area that is the private parts of this?
That is something I need to know. Like, is it the motor...
Right.
Or
I
want
to know what the penis is. Yes.
The penis. Maybe it's a lesbian relationship. We don't know.
Right. Totally true. How dare I? No.
How dare I? Wait, let me pull it together. Hold on. Okay. So she decided to make, she has like a collage of pictures of it in her house and stuff and like a lot of memorabilia from the park. And that's pretty good, but... She built a model.
Make a collage on your wall for a roller coaster and it's okay. Make a collage on your wall for another human and all of a sudden you're a stalker. And
you think I'm a stalker.
I do not do that, by the way, just to let the record show, but that joke had to be said.
Sarah's like, what's that movie called? How to Make a Guy Hate You. What the hell's that movie called? How to Lose a Guy
in 10 Days.
How to Make a Guy Hate You. Okay.
Close enough.
So she created a model of the coaster to, simulate, just to have one close to her. Yeah. But then she built other roller coaster models, and she considers those their kids. Oh. It's kind of, it's adopted.
My gosh. Is it though?
Well,
if she built it,
that's true. But did he or she?
Well, I mean, this is like basically what happens in a male-female relationship. Like,
that's a good point.
Really?
Yeah.
He's there for 10 seconds.
Maybe she took like a piece off the track and like put it on the kids.
That's
and
all you need. Yeah. What is he doing?
You're right. These are biological.
What did Adam do to make that baby inside of you?
Right. Jury's out, Adam. Okay.
So I think that might be hers, actually.
You're right. Like biologically, I think that roller coaster family is pretty legitimate.
She's got blood, sweat, and tears in it, so.
Okay, so here's what I want to talk about it. I know I do this to you every time. or I make you analyze these people.
Yeah.
And on a certain level, I actually do understand it. She feels that, hurt by other humans, and she probably had some trauma, and that this is more fulfilling for her. But the sticking point for me is that they often refer to it as love, but it seems centered and focused on the sexual feelings that it creates.
Oh, interesting.
So for me, it was sort of like, is it love, though, or just like you're really horny for it? I don't know.
Oh, my gosh, Suze. I think that's a very, insightful question.
Thank you, Sarah.
I really do, because that makes you, it kind of makes you push back on, because it makes you define your terms, or she has to define what is love and what is lust and what's the difference.
Yeah.
And, because a physiological response, yes, we can call that love, but it's it's more like temporary passion.
But maybe that's just how the articles frame it, because that's more funny to write about it that way. But maybe for her, there actually is a love there, or I don't know.
Because it sounds like companionship. It sounds like,
It seems very fulfilling for these people.
Yeah. And so
You're not hurting anybody. So I don't object to it, but I do feel like it's a shame that she can't find a person.
You know what's interesting too is my there's a part of me that wants to say, make sure that it would be important for her to have balance with the rest of her life. So if this is if this is replacing maybe other human connections and she's isolating, but then I think about being in a relationship, and if you're with somebody and sometimes it can seem like companionship, but you're also being isolated and you're away from friends and family, and that's not healthy.
Yeah.
And so what, or is that just sometimes, so it's interesting when you really think about it of what is the,
I give her credit for...
One could say that he can't object, he or she, the roller coaster. I wonder about consent, but it's just an object. Because, what makes it different?
Right. Well, thankfully, she doesn't try to have sex with it physically.
And but then also, my gut instinct says riding the roller coaster would get you off.
Well, I bet it would. Yeah.
Would it?
I bet it would.
Because then you combine those love feelings with the
arousal transfer.
Arousal, yes. I feel like that would be.
Well, and
isn't it strange that it's often these objects that are kind of in a way dangerous like that?
Yeah, there was a car. Remember, there was a sports car one. The Eiffel Tower.
And there was a bow and arrow.
There was
the bow staff. The woman, the Olympic. She was an Olympian.
I do not remember that. Oh my God.
Yes, she was an Olympian, and she was an Olympic marksman.
Yeah.
And then she said that she started losing because she was
up.
having, and they broke up. She was cheating on him with another
bow.
Bow.
Oh no!
I believe you told me this story.
It's just crazy that she's an Olympian, because you think that these people would have enough discipline and stuff to kind of handle life in a more traditional way.
Or maybe if it's so much discipline and...
Yeah. Because I could see that being traumatic too, being an elite athlete.
Mm-hmm.
I give her credit, though, for trying to be with humans 3 times.
Yeah.
And then being like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go for the roller coaster.
Yeah. More rewarding. Still the same ups and downs, though.
Well, that's what the article kept doing.
Did it really?
They write them so funny, and it's... I feel bad, but I don't. They were like, this one had a lot of ups and downs, and...
They got it. That's why I'm so mad at the article about the mice that were blind, and they didn't even make a joke about 3 blind mice.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity. That's just lazy reporting.
Doing? Terrible. Fail.
We have needs.
Come on. It's like real simple. We don't ask for much.
Oh, and another need that I have is to chill out with a nice cold beverage. This is around the time of year when I start switching from my hibernation period of red wine to the refreshing beer scenario. Everyone always comments on it when I start drinking beer.
I love when Susie's in a beer mood. It's very like Oktoberfesty. I picture you like lederhosen.
For me, it's like a very seasonal thing. Like I love it in the spring and summer. And Coors has a new line called Coors Pure, and it's organic and has 0 sugar.
What?
I'm so excited.
Suze, this is great for poolside sipping.
It is so great. And my personal favorite part is that it has 92 calories, and the 0 sugar thing is so great because, even with, wine, there's so much sugar, and that can be bad for headaches and stuff like that. I love that this is so light and refreshing and organic.
I love it.
I mean, come on. I feel like, how we always say, like, they put a man on the moon, but they can't do this. Like, now we're starting to do it. They did it. Yes. It's refreshingly simple beer. It has organic barley, organic hops, and water. I love that more women are drinking beer as well. And we just learned about the beer witches.
Original brewmasters.
Yes.
There we go.
So Coors Pure is the perfect beer to celebrate the wins of everyday life. So when you want to enjoy a beer without the guilt, reach for Coors Pure. It's organic, but chill about it. Go to CoorsPure.com to see where you can find Coors Pure and celebrate responsibly of Coors Brewing Company, Albany, Georgia. I love it.
I like that.
You're going to love it. I can't wait till you try it.
The pure but like chill about it.
Yeah, they're not going to be annoying.
I feel like that's like us.
Right. I always say I get Botox, but I drink and eat organic, okay? So it's a balance. Okay. Anyway, so the woman found love with a roller coaster. Okay, got that. Now, how about I'll give you a little history of Chef Boyardee.
Oh!
Speaking of food and drink. Chef Boyardee was a real person. His name was Hector Boyardee.
His last name was Boyardee?
Yes. But it was spelled...
Is that just funny because...
Because of Chef
Boyardee?
Yeah, it is.
I love that.
So the way it's spelled was Boiardi. I would have pronounced it Boyardee.
Yeah.
But then when they changed it to be spelled
Boyardee.
phonetically, we must have changed like where you stress the accent.
Yes.
But hilarious. His name was Hector Boyardee. And
I don't know why. That's so funny.
That's like how my mom's always like, that's not a name. It is a name.
Chef Boyardee. Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh,
and
that tickles me.
Chef came to America at 16.
Chef. That's his first name.
No, it's Hector, you goon.
I know, but that's just real funny.
Hector came to the United States.
We're going to call him Chef.
From Italy at the age of 16, and he got a job at the Plaza Hotel in New York City. And at that time, he was working in the kitchen at their fine dining restaurant. And at that time, French food was the only cuisine that was seen as like fine dining. And nobody really knew about Italian food at this time. It was like 1910 or so.
Whoa.
So they
Chef Boyardee is old.
He's old school, man. And he started like working his food onto the menu, like slowly. And people went crazy for it. And then they wanted to make it at home. So he started doing like takeout of spaghetti dinners. So he'd give them like a canister of parm and then a thing of pasta and then a like old milk bottle cleaned out and filled with marinara. And he would write down the directions. Here's how you make it. Because nobody knew yet at the time.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
I mean, people must have been going nuts for
Right, because imagine
pasta.
if you'd never had it.
Had that?
Oh, my God.
Oh my
right.
God.
So then he was like, I'll just like go into business. And he got a factory with his wife and his brothers. And They changed the name to be spelled phonetically because white people are just like, what is this name? You know, so they had to spell it like for dum-dums like us.
For dum-dums.
And then basically, you know, he sold the company to whoever and then died a millionaire in 1985.
Wow.
What a cool
good
guy.
for him.
I know.
I do love that.
I mean, I love an American dream story.
I love when it's a real person.
I know. I wonder if he really looked like the guy on the label.
Yeah, I want to know if all of those are real people or not.
Because he looked cute on the label, like he looked like a nice person.
Yeah. Yeah, he does look like but like any chubby old Italian guy. He either looks like a nice guy or a mobster.
That's true.
That's all you get.
And
Sopranos
sometimes they look like
Chef
nice
Boyardee.
guys too. They're so cute.
They do. Nice guy.
I'm just happy for
Wise
them.
guy.
I wish the American dream stories were more common now. I feel like that ship has sailed a bit, but...
Because freaking big businesses came in and were like,
yeah, now things are
Amazon.
a lot harder. But I am happy for him and his family. I wonder if there's like a Boyardee family hanging out somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Introduce them to the Jello Girls.
Oh my God. That book was great.
Yeah.
About the Jello fortune.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, and
God,
they thought there
love
was
the
like
history.
a curse. That was weird, though. That was a whole thing. Anyway, okay. Well, speaking of food, though, apparently the New York Times did this article about how a particular town in France, the mayor decided that the school lunches would be meatless. And the motivation really was just about logistics during COVID and like paring down the menu so that there was only one option rather than two. And if you're going to do one, then you probably need to do meatless for people who don't eat meat. But people were so mad. And I just hate it.
Yeah. I can see this being a little bit of a...
like a class thing?
kind of like racist undertones.
Tell me.
Because there is a big population, like a Muslim population.
Oh, so they're mad. Okay.
Uh-huh. I think this is in the same along the lines of the banning certain kinds of masks and headwear and things like that.
Okay, so like you think...
Of like, the people who are mad are like, why are we accommodating the people who eat vegetarian food? And I think those people who are getting mad are the ones who are being
white
racist.
supremacists.
Yes.
Fuck.
That's what my gut tells me. But
yeah, that
what
makes
do I know?
sense. The article framed it as if it were sort of the classic French snobbery about food and being willing to eat whatever if it's delicious. But I think there must be more to it, as you're saying. Has
to be. I think that's it because I mean, if you were at a school in India or Thailand or a lot of places with a big Muslim population, you would not even have the option of meat.
Well, right, and there's plenty of dishes that are wonderful.
other. It is Muslims that don't eat meat, right?
Yeah, there's lots of traditions that don't.
And then Sikh people don't eat meat. And there's a lot of cultures that do not eat meat.
Right. So if the majority thinks we're accommodating the minority, they get all worked up.
Yes, that's what I think is happening.
It's definitely political, though, in terms of they don't like. The conservative French people don't like any kind of accommodating for like climate change as well and other things that are on the quote unquote liberal agenda. So it might not just be religion and race. It could be just a general political type of debate. But my God, I would be happy if my kid never ate meat.
I go back and forth all the time.
Right.
I go, should I just do this?
Well, because it is immoral.
I should just be a vegetarian. Like, it wouldn't be that hard. I would just have to, like, how much meat am I even really eating?
Yeah.
Like, it's like in and out, and that's it.
In and out. I love it. Yeah, I mean, you're only human.
I'm only human. I mean, come on.
I just think it's ridiculous, and I think it's a cool thing. And it just reminded me of our conversation a couple episodes ago about, like, what do you think will be antiquated in 20 years?
Yes, you're so right. I think it's eating meat. I think you're right with that.
Because it is an abomination. It just is.
It does seem crazy.
It's so bad for the earth.
And we're only making it worse, and it's not going in the right direction.
But don't.
Sorry, in and out.
I'm a hypocrite. I do eat meat, but I know that it's evil.
Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere. All right, moving on. There was this great article in the New Yorker about. Have you ever heard of the? I guess you'd call it social media site called Ravelry. It's for knitters and crocheters.
No, I have not, but that's cute.
I have not either, but they say it's so ubiquitous in that community that it would be like someone getting a computer and you saying, oh, you should check out Google. Like, it's just everybody in the community is on there. And it's, I don't know, 9 million, maybe. Like, just tons of people are on there. And they wrote about how it is a reflection of the broader cultural problem with politics now, because ever since Trump won, and then they, on Ravelry is where the pussy hat was developed, the pattern for the pussy hat for the Women's March. And so and it was founded by two women who are married to each other. And so I think its roots are in this more progressive side of the world. But then as the re-election was about, heating up, then people started posting like Make America Great Again patterns and stuff. And then the founders had to decide whether to ban Trump stuff because they said it was, white supremacist inherently. And it just caused this whole stir, and then conservatives started leaving the knitting group. And
knitting.
That's right. That's when knitting. You know it's everywhere and it's bad. When people are knitting and mad about politics.
Knitters who are, and for goodness sakes, let's not make that group mad. They're holding weapons.
Apparently, the flashpoint was when a build the wall pattern, was put up.
Oh God!
Because that's racist, basically.
Yes.
But I just was like, this is such a great article because it uses a particular subculture as a lens through which we can see a broader issue, and how this is no longer the agree to disagree thing.
No, it's not.
I don't know what's going to happen though.
I feel like something similar is happening and funny, we were talking about not eating meat, in the vegetarian and vegan forums and like groups that I've been hearing that it's kind of like what you say about how it's not really a straight line, it's a circle.
Yep.
And people end up meeting back again in the middle on like the two opposite ends of the extreme. Yeah. So you have like anti-vaxxers and people who are like super pro science and all of that, who are both vegan. And then they're like getting in, and now they have to be like, like vetting people and making, like doing heavy screening before letting people into groups, because they'll be like, white supremacist, racist, Nazis on there who are also vegans.
Oh, it's like that guy that stormed the Capitol, and then when he went to jail, he went on a hunger strike because they didn't have
organic food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Isn't that interesting? By the way,
so weird,
hilarious story. I got, as you did, the first round of the vaccine.
Yes,
and I got the Moderna one, and the Moderna one can interact with fillers, and I get fillers in my face. I looked like Martin Short in Pure Luck, the movie. If you've ever seen it, he had an allergic reaction to a bee sting. I knew that it could happen. I had read it.
No.
Yeah, and it was only the left side of my face. It was so funny.
Oh my God.
It was like, it didn't hurt or anything, and I knew that it was temporary and nothing to be scared of, but it was just like, this is insane.
Oh my God.
Like, I couldn't open my left eye. It was like,
oh my God, Suze, that would have scared me to death.
And isn't it weird that like just one side of my face And I'm wondering if it's because of the side that I got the injection on. I don't know.
Yes, it is.
And it wasn't like...
Isn't it so weird that the body works like that, where it really is like half of your body and like down the middle?
Yes, it is. It's so weird.
It's so fucking weird. That's so weird to me.
And really, I'm just dreading the second dose because if the first one was that bad...
Oh, Suze.
It was not fun. But
Well,
better than COVID.
Right.
And hey, that's what you get for being
down.
a vain piece of shit, getting fillers in your face like a weirdo. But drinking organic.
Yeah, I had the same shot. Face is still the same. So maybe I need some fillers.
You got Moderna too?
Yes.
Oh, God. I'm so glad you didn't have any fillers. You would have been...
Yeah. No. I didn't even know about that.
If it happens for the second one, I will take a picture and show you.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to need to see that.
Anyway.
I mean, I got fillers done a long, long time ago, but...
Yeah. Well,
they're gone now. They're gone. All right.
Yeah.
Clearly. I need them back.
You don't need them. Okay. Moving on.
Maybe I do. What I feel like I definitely need, though, to do more of that face yoga because...
Really?
I can't... Oh, my gosh. My face has become so asymmetrical because I talk out of one side of my mouth just to balance it out. Because, look, we all do different things for vanity,
Yeah, but what are you doing?
That's one I want to do. Face yoga.
Oh, yeah. I don't even count that. That just sounds nice.
Yeah. And right. And then, but what I do need is the Botox in between my eyebrows. Because holy crap, I cannot stop furrowing my brow. I can't stop looking like permanently confused or mad.
Sarah is perpetually befuddled.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like, that's a big problem.
Yeah, man.
And like, I was talking to my mom about it, or I was like noticing that my mom always does it.
Oh.
And I was like, we do this. It's a thing.
Well, that's the beauty of the mom, because whenever people are like, why would you get filters? I'm like, well, do you know fillers? I mean, my mom, she's very youthful and looks great, but like, we're thin people. We look like Skeletor. Mm-hmm. And so
you are thin people,
so like, you got to like pump the jams up in there or else I will look scary like an actual skeleton. And this is for you guys that I'm doing.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
And when you look at your mom, you can see.
Not look worried.
Right. Yeah, right. You need to, in fact, when I was in therapy and I mentioned how I write to the prisoners, but I quickly qualified that it was for my research and not just like, I'm not one of those prison...
For funsies.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, I'm so glad you said that because I was afraid you would have seen my face like look appalled when you first said it. Because you guys really do have to bluff a little bit. Like you can't react too much.
Yeah. Right. Well, honestly, because like you start to kind of... Nothing really makes you react because it's like, okay.
Right.
But
some things people say are more unusual.
Yeah, you're in love with the roller coaster. All right, sure, that sounds good.
Right.
Some things are. It's more almost like when the things is like when I have a personal connection to it, or like it's like I went through that too, or something where you're like, ugh,
Yes.
But yeah, I gotta tone the face down. I gotta like
you gotta
Botox
immobilize the muscles.
Yeah.
I always say when I go in there, I want to look taxidermied. I don't want to look... it is weird how you start to almost want to look like... Oh, I read this great article in the New York Times about the beauty industry. And it was about, that girl, Addison Rae. I think she's a TikTok woman.
Yes, yes.
And she's one of the number one accounts. And she's real cute and beautiful, all that. And now she has a beauty line. And they were sort of using her as a way to examine the broader beauty industry and the Kylie whole thing and how it's so interesting how now it's being framed as sort of like an extension of the wellness and self-care world, but they still kind of have to tap into our insecurities.
Oh, yes.
And so they sort of, instead of saying it's like self-erasure, it's more like self-enhancement. I think that's the way that they try to frame it as like, you're beautiful as you are, but like if you want to express yourself or...
Oh my God.
Which I agree with. Like you should be able to do makeup and whatever you want to express who you believe you are. But the industry is rife with this, like, you're not enough language.
Right.
But then they try to, like, hide it.
Let's not pretend that we're not just, like, trying to, like, not look old. And
right. At least I admit it.
That's
well, because
right.
they talked about how, in a certain way, we've all wised up about it. And so they have to reframe the message, but the essence is still the same. That smoothness, like lack of pores, blemishes, or body hair, and then like thinness and firmness and youth are still the ideal.
Right.
And even when you have an account, let's say it's somebody who embraces the body positivity thing and like the fuller figure, they're allowed like to have a fuller figure, but then they still need to be all the other things, smooth and young and firm or whatever, you know?
Right. Oh, God.
Like everything's the same, but different.
Yeah. It's like, and we're fighting biology here. There are things that we look at that our instincts, our drive to procreate, that is like something we can't control, says, yes, that is a sound choice of a mate.
Right.
And then we go, I like that. Or, yes, look at that. That looks like, if I had that, then I would be more desirable for mating.
Yeah.
We're not consciously thinking this, but that's it. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, it's evolution.
So we can't pretend that looking at something that isn't, that has the opposite effect, that signals or sends our brain the message that this would not be good for procreation, would be interesting to look at, or would be what we would like. And we're designed to not be like...
It just gets internalized. No. It just does.
It does. We can't help it.
Yeah.
We can't help it.
Well, and what made me think of this article was how when you see Instagram face everywhere, then you do start to think of that as beautiful. And that sort of plastic cat look. And then you really have to be discerning and be like, wait a minute, do I actually think this is beautiful, or have I just internalized that message? It's hard, though.
I feel like it's going to be like, it would be nice to think that maybe however long from now we might really be into people who don't have anything done.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything sort of goes in a circle.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Social media has changed a lot of those cycles of things and trends. And I don't know. It's just particularly bad for women, of course.
Yeah.
And
I did hear on another podcast that men's makeup sales is up.
Yes.
That
because of Zoom.
Because of Zoom?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just getting like a tiny little taste of self-awareness and feeling inferior that women feel constantly every second of every day.
And, right. And, oh, God, that seems dangerous because, like, now you have everybody feeling like that. Right. We need to fix that.
We're all a mess. And, you can see it play out even, like, when women get old, they're discarded and ignored and kind of criticized like, ooh, she looks old, whatever. But then if they do get plastic surgery and fillers and all that stuff, then it's like, oh, you've gone too far, honey, no. Right. And this...
What is she trying to get her youth back? Like, doesn't she know she's not young anymore?
Like, you cannot win.
Mm-mm.
And I do feel sad about that no matter what you look like, you're not going to be... And as soon as I do a tweet that's controversial to a certain group, like when I did the Joe Rogan tweet a while ago that brought out all of his bro fans, that's the first thing they go for. And if they can't say you're ugly, then they'll say you are fake. You look like, you have fake tits or whatever.
Right.
Or if they can't say you're dumb, then they go to your looks or whatever. And it's just, you can't avoid it. Mm-mm. There's no woman that would be, oh, well, we can't say anything bad about her. She's perfect.
Right.
And people do that to the Kardashians, like they idolize them, but then they're mad that it's all plastic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I definitely do. And I'm trying to, it's like also that, what is the word called? Schadenfreude.
Oh yeah, Schadenfreude.
Like where you just want them to.
Well, it's like what happened with Britney. Like we put her in a pedestal.
Oh God.
And then we like revel in her collapse in 2008.
Like, because I really, in some ways, do feel bad for Kim Kardashian.
Okay, why?
I just feel like that is she happy?
Right.
I don't see it.
I couldn't imagine being fulfilled in that environment.
I couldn't imagine either.
Maybe she is. I do love that they're such a close family and that they all kind of stick together. I think that's a lovely thing, and maybe that helps that they have each other.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that that's a healthy environment.
Yeah. Because it's like, it keeps feeding into itself, you know? Like, if you have one who's getting all the attention, then we gotta like, you know, nobody's gonna be like a nurse, or if you're in that family, you're not gonna like be like I'm gonna be a elementary school teacher. No, you're not.
No, you're not. Who's right? Well, nothing is free. Like you cannot have it all. So if you have $1 billion because you're Kylie and you're on TV, but then what do you lose? What is it? What's the cost?
More money, more problems.
I mean, really, her life isn't normal.
No,
or peaceful.
I would not want that life.
But yet everybody is envious of it.
Right.
That's why we watch these shows.
It's like, I feel like you get past a point, because don't you feel like the older you get, the less envious you get of those lives?
Yes, for me, I do.
For me too.
Yeah.
And I would, if you ask my mom, she doesn't give a fuck about those lives.
Well, and just the small taste that we had being on TV of the the price you pay, that's enough. I don't want to know
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I do always joke about how when you're in our shoes, like on reality TV, like we were, that you get a lot of the bad stuff, but like you're not getting rich and, you know, truly famous. Like the perks don't come with it.
Like, I remember being in LA once and being in line to get into some club, and people in line are like coming up to me and they're like, oh my God, can I take a picture with you?
But you can't get in.
And then I I couldn't get in.
Exactly. That's what, that encapsulates what I am saying.
What a joke. And I'm not gonna, it's so dumb. And so one time, I think it was you and Adam who encouraged me to call to make a reservation or something like that, on basically call and pretend to be my own manager.
Yeah.
I fucked that up so bad. I was they were
No. I do make Adam do that for me, and it works because he's British.
Because he's British. It's so easy.
Yeah, and he'll get fancy reservations and stuff.
So nice.
Yeah, but for usually what the situation is with when you're on The Real World or any dumb show like that, you have people that know who you are and like you or not, but then that's it. I went back to work at Chili's, you guys. Okay?
Yes,
that's what I did.
Went to Planet Beauty afterwards.
I'm waiting on people who want my autograph.
One of my favorite consequences of being on reality TV, when I was married and we went to go get homeowners insurance.
Oh my God.
And it was all encompassing, it was our car insurance and home are all in one kind of thing. They did some or they looked on, put our names online, or somebody who worked there recognized my name. And so they Googled it, and they said that they couldn't insure me because I was too I held a risk. And like, for example, and this is the example they gave. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? They said, yeah, like somebody might feel like if they got into a car accident with like Leonardo DiCaprio, that they might be able to get more money out of it. And I was like, wait, do you think I'm like Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, what are we saying here?
What are you you know that this is not that. Like, nobody's trying to take an insurance claim out on your gal over here. Like, you know, trying to, like, commit fraud by, like, rear-ending me or, like, slamming on their brakes in front of me thinking, oh, I'm going to get a big payout because Sarah from The Challenge just hit me with her Jeep. Right. I don't think so.
Right.
Her 2016 car.
Yeah, right.
No.
This is the thing. Right, but we're also
sorry,
not
ma'am,
allowed
we can't
to complain
insure you.
about
You're too
it.
famous. What?
Oh, my gosh. That's really weird.
So bizarre.
Do you feel like there's more to the story? Like they just didn't want to do it for another reason?
No, because we did it. We went to, that was like, it was like somebody there. I heard them say this. Like, and they like called somebody over, like they were like talking to somebody else there, or like, you know, well, let me get a supervisor. Yeah, we're sorry, we're not. And so we had to switch insurance companies.
This is insane. Uh-huh. Welcome to the real world.
So, yeah, right? It's like so dumb. So dumb.
Let's
like,
wind it down, Sarah.
Oh, we learned so much today. We learned about Chef Boyardee.
We really
Origin
did.
story.
Yeah, origin story. We learned that Sarah still does believe in mermaids.
Possibly, maybe. The truth is out there. I just don't know it.
And, you know, some women like tall, dark, and handsome. Some women like...
wooden and...
right. And loop-de-loop. Yeah, so to each their own.
To each their own. I know what this woman likes, and that's a hotel room and not sleeping on the floor. So your gal's going to be coming at you next time from not the floor.
And, you know, if you want to make people mad, take away their meat and their knitting patterns.
Oh. Yep, that will make them angry. Oh, my God, so funny.
And don't forget about Susie's obsession with fillers and the price that she paid with the Moderna vaccine.
Oh, my gosh, and we want pictures the next time.
Okay. All right, people. Thank you for listening to this show.
We love you.
We love you. Leave a 5-star review. Blah, blah, blah.
And tell a friend.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Did you know that everyone has an aura? Do you know what color your aura is? Maybe you have a fiery red personality or a quiet and calm blue or green. You could be an organized and methodical yellow or an explosive purple. Come join me, Mystic Michaela, on my podcast, Know Your Aura, to find out all about how your personality can be explained in colors.